Core
I
day.
was born ready.
What are you making, teams right now?
Yeah, I'm putting everybody in teams. It's just a couple of years of rookies, so guys are going to basically just be multiple rookies of the same guys through a couple of different sets that we ripped open.
Oh, I gotta get into the chat.
Get in the chat.
Getting in right now.
What'd you do all week?
What did I do?
Yeah, I didn't really see you much.
No, not really.
No, I
I
talked to you a couple
did
times.
the website.
It's a website called BigBeaverComics.com.
Go check us out. Got action figures, sports cards. We got a few sports cards up there right now.
I think most of the sports
slabs.
cards are going to end up on eBay, though.
They are.
Yeah,
we're we're
pretty busy over on eBay.
So I keep the graded ones up there or the Dragon Ball.
Yeah. I think some of the really specific single stuff, the older stuff, that stuff might stay up. But I think for the most part, we're going to use a lot of the website for comic books and the little bit of action figure collections that come here. I think I'm going to put up some more wrestlers.
Oh yeah.
Once I get around to it. Yeah.
Oh, like all the good ones, huh?
There's a lot of wrestlers still. There's a lot of wrestlers. So there's a lot of stuff to put up. So we're still. It's being unpacked slowly.
Yeah, it's getting done.
It
day
is.
by day.
It is getting done day by day, slowly but surely, just like life. Day by day, it's getting done.
It's getting done, right?
So you
better.
Worked on the website and
stayed
out of trouble.
Oh, I'm always staying out of trouble.
Still working the glory hole.
Of course, that never ends.
Keeping the customers,
keeping
everybody satisfied.
Of course, I got a 5-star rating, man. You got to keep that up. I got to keep up appearances.
Our friend Dana's doing another photo shoot. She wanted us to shout that out. So go over to Instagram. It should still be up in the story. Check out whoever this photo.
Busy girl.
But I don't know who the photo shoots with. It's the person before that on the story. Big Beaver Comics on Instagram.
Okay.
Go over there and check that out. Yeah, Busy Girl Enterprise. Go talk to Dana about it. This photographer is apparently just getting started. So they're doing a free one. And apparently they have a studio, so it's like a whole boudoir thing. So everybody who's into chicks with half their clothes off, then
check them out. So
Dana would be right up your alley then.
That's true.
She has half her clothes off.
So it's somewhat professional to have like a studio.
I don't know who it is, but it seems like they're at least trying to get off on the professional foot. So I don't know. I was asked to help give somebody a shout out, and I'm more than happy to help because Dana helped us, so I'm more than happy.
She definitely did.
To pass that along.
Absolutely.
So go check that out if you're in Edmonton and you're a chick or you're into boudoir stuff.
Boudoir. What is boudoir?
I think that's a fancy way of saying you're in your undies.
Lingerie.
Yeah, it's just lingerie.
Boudoir.
It's just a fancy way of saying I'm taking pictures of my gaunch. It's just softcore.
Basically.
It's just softcore, dude. Like, come on. Like, we've all seen.
What else do you call it, right?
We've all seen everything now in this day and age. So, like, I mean, me personally, if I'm going to try to, I don't know what people do it for. So I'm not entirely sure what the motives are behind that kind of stuff. I'm not.
What, the whole taking pictures?
Yeah. I'm not sure what a person's personal motives are behind it, so I don't know. But like for me, if I'm gonna like take it part out, I'm gonna take it all and get a bag off it.
Yeah, why not?
For me, if I could just whip the hog out and be like, "This is the hog," and stare at it.
There you go.
Admire and now pay me. Yeah. I would. So I'm not advocating for that. I'm just saying that if I was in that, I would. What's the term for you? Shit or get off the pot. So halfway is kind of like you're still putting out there. So you're still thirst trapping. But I don't know what you're doing it for, because maybe you're doing it for the most internal reasons that I don't know, because I'm not you. I just know for me that if I was doing it, I'd be doing it for a bag.
Getting something.
I don't care that you admire my dong. I would just rather if I could add a vig onto my dong.
Well, you could OnlyFans.
But I don't think that there's going to be a market for that. I don't
think so?
I feel like it's going to be, unless the sound of crickets is what you consider a market.
What do you think? You'd be surprised
I feel like with dudes, there's a lot of free hog shots going around. Guys are.
There's a few guys on OnlyFans that make money just because there's a.
But they're probably
guy that makes shorts.
They're right. Exactly. So they have skills.
Tony Turant or something. His name is.
So they have skills. I have also no skills. So I have.
You could do some sort of angling, cinematic, artsy type vibe.
I feel like that's really not going to catch
art house
on.
Type of
art house dong stuff.
Grindhouse.
That might be more Grindr. I'll just go right to Grindr.
Always grinding.
Yeah, that's going to be where my audience is, and I'm just not. I don't feel like I don't think the wife would like me becoming a piece of meat on the internet.
No, of course not.
No, I'll be a piece of meat.
All hypothetical.
Private, right? So yeah, I don't know, but for me, it's you're just doing softcore. I would think that's kind of what it seems like.
It does kind of seem.
You're doing a lot of very, very, because we can all spell it out.
Yeah.
Because we've all seen all the way right to where there's just full table legs put in your butt. So like, right,
yes.
We're not for that person, but because we've seen it's all there, it's like we can extrapolate on anything. So like, I don't know. I'd get the bag personally. I mean, I've talked to Dana.
If you have the goods for it,
I've talked to Dana about, I mean, her specifically about it, and she just shy, or like we said, it's because it's a thing, it's a personal thing, or maybe it's just that gives you plausible deniability to be like, I'm not doing that, and it's like, well, you kind of are, but you're just not acknowledging.
Roundabout sense.
I don't know. I have no idea. For me, I've never taken a dong pic. Never.
I say that I have not.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So I don't. Yeah, I don't. I've never felt the need to advertise. I feel like it speaks for itself.
You're doing the whole Tinder
I haven't been solicited. Right. Yeah. See, I don't have any of that. Yeah. I don't know what any of that's like. People are really soliciting that?
Well, they had they asked. I don't ever offer it up. I just
no, but I'm saying that's them soliciting it. I'm saying people solicit that.
You come across so many dudes, right? Not all dudes are packed or equipped, and so
you think you'd be asking for bank statements
instead of going through all that preamp. Well, if you're just looking for one,
they just ask for good enough.
If they're just looking for one good night stand and getting grilled, right? They're gonna ask you. Like,
I never really thought of it like that.
Are you small dick energy or big energy? Right?
It's true. I'm not running into a lot of people in that life.
Right. That's the whole.
That's a different
online.
That's a different. Yeah. Okay. So I'm not used to that. So I can't. So maybe there's a lot more dong soliciting than I know about. But as far as me, I'm unsolicited.
I've sent quite a few in my day.
Maybe I'm ugly. Really?
Never. I never sent them first. Quite a few, yes.
No, you're not sending them.
I've always when they ask. Of course,
that's horrible. Yeah, don't send them unsolicited.
No, never do that. Don't do that.
No, don't do that.
And until that thing is done, always.
And even then, I'm not entirely sure. Like, yeah, I don't know. I'm gonna have to tell a chick if she's like, send me the piece. I'm gonna be like, Venmo me $20. Like, I'm sorry. Yeah, like it's not a free piece for you.
Never thought of doing that. I
want mine. Like I said, if I can't monetize it, I'm gonna stay in the pink Jordan sweats.
See, you never think of monetizing like that. I just thought of the end result of sending this. So,
you want pipe? All right, send cab fare and. I need a pack of smokes or whatever.
That's my VIG.
That's my VIG. That's how you get, Then I'll send one. We got more requests. I got a price list.
More requests. What do you want? I got tiers.
Yeah. I got a gold package and a platinum package.
Do you just want basic just behind a white ball?
I got a platinum package. So if you want...
you want it dressed up like it's sloped across a mini chair. Like dressed right up, real artsy with like a fireplace going, like diorama.
Little bonnet on it, right?
Yeah, I got a diorama thing going on.
That's so
right? You got different tiers of it, right? You gotta class this bitch up.
Goddamn. So all the way to circle back. Go check out the story for the boudoir thing.
How did we get off topic of the boudoir?
Because we just immediately start trying to pimp ourselves on the internet and try to think of
unintentionally, because I wasn't thinking of doing that.
I mean, if there was a bag at the end of the rainbow, so Venmo is $20.
Venmo has $20 in your cell phone number.
Right. Yeah, attach it to the Venmo memo. Exactly. What do you got?
What do I got?
What do you got?
So, have you ever, who Ed Boon is? The creator of Mortal Kombat.
No, I don't think so. Ed Boon. Is he a guy from Acclaim, or is he?
Midway.
Or Midway, right.
Midway,
It's Midway Acclaim now, right?
Yeah.
Okay, Midway, you're right. So the old Mortal Kombats are Midway.
Right, I think this poll's going to be a little bit biased, though. Because he's worked on
Is it a platinum poll, though? Because, like...
Oh, no, it's not a platinum
poll. It's not? Okay.
I wish we would have led with that.
Yeah.
No, it was very disappointing.
We've moved from one poll topic to another poll.
We did. Wow, we did, yeah.
Don't commit Mortal Kombat on anybody's poll, though.
No, don't do that unless if it's in the tier system and they're paid
Ladies, finish him.
Oh, yeah. Good. Fatality.
So but $20 first.
Of course.
Yeah, then you can finish him.
So he put a poll out. like I said, it's probably pretty biased because he worked on like DC Project, like video games and stuff like that, like Injustice, Mortal Kombat versus DC.
Well, this guy's still doing shit.
He still makes Mortal Kombat games.
How old is he?
put out
Do you know?
Oh, it's like 50s.
Oh, that's not bad. So
Right?
he hit with Mortal Kombat when he was
Well, yeah,
young.
because in '93, I think.
93, yeah.
Yeah, so.
But I mean, he hit with that young then. He
Oh,
was like
dude,
late
yeah.
20s or
I
something.
think Midway was pretty new back then. I think it was like almost their very first game that they put
Not
out.
bad.
With Mortal Kombat. Yeah, it was
Not
very
bad.
good.
It's a
very
good game.
Yeah.
Really
Been around
good
for
game.
like 30 years now, right?
It's a really good game.
So you put a poll out on his. I
First
believe,
two were really good.
for, 3 is pretty good too.
3 is pretty good.
Yeah.
2 is good.
2, two's my
2 is
favorite.
Jax and Baraka and that was a really good expansion to that's Katana.
Yeah.
Really good
And then everybody
roster
tried
expansion.
like emulating that game, like the whole live action. There was a bunch of games
Because it's a really unique art style.
It definitely is.
The way that
Absolutely
they've got guys almost like superimposed
They
over
did.
art
Every guy would
background.
do like
It's
their
CG
moves.
or something, right?
Yeah, they just videotaped him doing moves, doing like this. Then they take a
Yeah, because
picture.
wrestling did
They
that
take a
with the
picture.
one wrestling game in like 96 or 97 where you could
Oh,
tell
they
it was
did
like
that.
the real, yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
It kind of, yeah, it wasn't a good game though.
Oh,
It really
no.
translates well with Mortal Kombat.
Yeah.
Like it's
That was
excellent.
on like Sega, right?
It's not as good with that type of vibe when it's like a 3D moving unit, but with that where it's just two guys
yeah.
side by side, just on a platform like
Yeah,
that.
3-dimensional with the 2D sprites. Yeah, that never looks good.
Yeah, I don't remember how it
They
was.
never tried
Obviously,
it.
Mortal Kombat though. I
Right.
remember, and it was. Anyways, Ed Boon.
Ed Boon put out a poll, I believe it was on his Twitter, and it was like, what is better, Endgame Infinity War or Zack Snyder's Justice League, like his finished product?
Okay,
And people voted 50 out of 56,000 votes.
That's a lot of
There's
votes.
quite a few people that voted
Yep.
on this. It was 55.5% Justice League,
that's pretty damn good.
and 44.5% Infinity War and Endgame. So just,
So we're combining those two movies together, the two Thanos movies.
they're technically one
They are.
movie, right? So
What would you say? You've seen them.
I've
I haven't
seen
seen
them.
any of it.
I would probably have to go with the finished product of Zack Snyder's. It was
You could think Justice League 2. You
yeah.
think Justice League's better than the movie
The,
that's
the telling of it, I thought I felt more emotionally involved in the characters in that than I did in just because there's so much going
Well,
on.
Marvel's
in
not.
Infinity War.
There is a lot of. I've
There's
heard,
so many
right.
characters and all this stuff going on. It's tough to follow all these characters because they're always dividing, going up here to here.
Mm.
Here you only got like 5 characters.
But that's what it's meant to do, though.
yeah.
So
It's I don't know. It's hard to.
you just found that.
I found the storytelling
Now, do you
a
think-
lot better paced.
Do you feel that way maybe only because that movie's somewhat newer than the other ones, so you remember it a little better? It took something that wasn't as good and made it better. And the fact that a lot of us, much like when Metallica went mainstream, they sold out, that people started looking at some MCU movies now as kind of like the sold out comic brand, and they stopped giving it the credit that it like probably deserves. Because isn't Endgame probably way better than the Ultron movie and all that? They're probably like light years better.
Oh, probably. Better,
And
yeah.
if they're that much better, how could they be anything other than at least equal to the
I
Zack
think,
Snyder movie? Like,
I think the
If that Zack
stuff
Snyder
was
was-
missing from the original cut that Josh Whedon did or whatever.
mhm.
The actual finished product when it was done, I think the way it looks, he did it in 4.3, so it's not widescreen at all, right?
Okay.
So
You
you
did
got
it
the
old,
black bars, old
yeah,
school. 'cause
old
that's,
school.
that's his favorite ratio.
That's
from
what
it.
Zack Snyder did?
Yeah.
Or Joss Whedon?
No, Zack
Oh, okay.
Snyder, yeah.
He
likes
started it, right?
Yeah, he did start
He
it.
started
And his
it, then
daughter passed away.
yeah. Had to dip.
But the finished product of his vision of the Justice League, I thought was leaps and bounds better than Josh Whedon's, and even Endgame.
Joss.
Yeah, I think
Joss.
Josh, right? It's
Joss Whedon.
Joss, right? I like the storytelling a bit better. Like I said, I found myself more involved or more
Invested.
taken away into the story.
That's a good quality to have
than
for a story.
in Endgame. Endgame, I kept on looking at my phone. Even when I was in the theater and saw it, I kept looking at my phone. A lot of parts like lost me, and I like those characters, but there's something else about the finished product of the Justice League movie.
I never did
That's
see
good.
it. That's
Because
good.
a lot of the
So-
Superman
so-
wasn't in the first.
So then you can't say that you find that poll somewhat surprising because then you agree with it. So I mean, if you agree, don't you find yourself to be kind of the common man? Why would you find it
Maybe,
55,
I never really
45?
thought of it like that. I just thought
That
because
seems
Ed
not.
Boon worked on
Seems like kind of a
DC
break. I mean,
product.
55, 45 is basically a break even anyways.
Just about, yeah.
Like, I mean, it's not an election. So I mean, what we're saying is basically both those movies must be pretty well received
Right out of
by both of their
56,000
audiences.
votes,
It
right?
sounds like both their audiences both kind of feel like, yeah, these are good ass movies. movies.
No, they're
good in their
yeah.
own kind of ways.
Yeah.
Because, like you said, it's not the same depth of character that you get, but you got that in the early Captain America movies. You got that in the early Avengers movies. You got a lot more character building.
I guess, yeah, because it's all a bunch of characters mashed into one. There's so many in those last two movies. I guess it's hard to...
Because that's got Guardians in it and everybody, right?
Yeah, Guardians and everybody's in it. And people die in it and stuff like that, of course, and then they're gone. And so...
Is Black Panther in it, too?
I believe so.
He is. Yes. I think he is, yeah.
He is in it, yes, yeah. Yeah, but I'll go for Justice League, though. I think I'll go for that. And Zack Snyder, people were thinking about Netflix taking over and doing Justice League 2 and 3. Unfortunately, right as now, he's not doing that. He said that there's no plans to do in Justice League 2 and 3 at all. He's working on Rebel Moon, his trilogy.
Because he's doing the Netflix stuff, right?
Yeah, he did Army of the Dead. He's going to work on Army of the Dead, too.
Is that a DC property? Army of the...
No, that's his own property.
Oh, okay. I was going to say,
movie set in, like,
isn't he working on DC properties now, though, like exclusively, or is he...
No, that's James Gunn.
No, but didn't they decide to let Netflix...
Yeah, no, that's not going through. No.
Oh, it's not?
No, it was just like kind of...
So it's just Gunn doing DC stuff then?
Yeah, it's
I didn't know that. Yeah. Oh, okay, I didn't know that. It
hasn't been optioned off yet, or Netflix hasn't bought the...
But they were talking about it pretty out loud. It was pretty out loud.
Going around, yeah, there's talks of it going around. Nothing's in concrete, nothing...
Oh, but it's not off the table. It just hasn't been ironed out yet.
He put out a statement addressing the situation and the rumors. He's saying as of now.
As of now.
Right, he's working on Rebel Moon and stuff
open-ended, like as of now.
Exactly.
Basically just a negotiating tactic.
For sure.
As of now, till you pay me more and give me more leverage.
So people thought that
because I'm sure the last thing he wants to do is start again, do another one, and have them take it from him again. Because he's like, I'm going to try to plan this out and execute over the course of multiple things.
He's focused on his Rebel Moon trilogy, which was going to be a Star Wars trilogy he was going to do at Lucasfilm. So that was canceled. So he's focused on that right now.
Right, you were telling me about that before.
So
and that's all his own stuff, right?
Yeah, that's all original work.
That's a personal property.
It sounds pretty good from what I've heard about it. So I'm looking forward to it.
What is it? If you remember anything.
There was just a vague outline, like a synopsis or whatever of whatever his Star Wars movie was going to be.
Okay.
Which I don't know.
So they just removed the Star Wars element from it. What they were going to do is basically take a script that he had and they were just going to plug and play some Star Wars characters into it.
I think he wrote it for Star Wars first, and then he kind of
reverse engineered it.
Yeah,
makes sense
to make it his own.
Was there a reason? Did he say why there was a reason why Disney didn't uptake
There's
it?
always stuff that's falling.
Maybe he wanted to keep too much of the rights to it.
Maybe he wanted too much control.
He might have wanted options like action figure points. And I
heard with his thing with Netflix, they gave him all control over everything because he did a few movies.
So that's with this Star Wars derivative thing that he's doing.
The Rebel Moon that he's doing. It's all.
And that's with Netflix. Is he like exclusive with Netflix or something?
I'm not too sure if he's exclusive, but
because he obviously wasn't recently. Because recently he did the Warner Brothers movie with DC, so he clearly has. That's not.
Well, that was way back in 2018.
Well, I guess he signed the contract years and years ago, right? Because he left.
Because he did that after I think he finished working on Army of Darkness, and he went back and
the TV show.
No, it's a movie.
Or no, Evil Dead. He didn't do. Army of Darkness. That's the same thing, though, right?
Army of Darkness is the third Evil Dead, but his not Army of Darkness. Sorry, what is it?
I don't know.
Army of the Dead. Sorry.
Army of the Dead.
Yeah, no, Army of Darkness. Sorry.
Oh, so that's like a Romero sort of derivative, like a zombie thing.
Well, it's a zombie movie. It's filmed. It takes place in like outside of Las Vegas. Las Vegas has been boarded up. That's where all the zombies are and shit. And they try to go steal like $300 million in cash.
The zombies got a gambling problem? They all went to Vegas?
No, this guy that had $300 million in cash in the like whatever hotel or casino that it's in. So he pays Batista and this group of people to go get his money out. Okay. Now he gets a tracker that brings him into the city. This tracker knows how these zombies work. So they bring this one douchebag in, they shoot him in the leg, and they throw him out and these zombies take him. Now they're smart. There's like this alpha type of zombies where they're smart, they're intellectual, and they can reproduce because their queen has like a baby inside of her and stuff. And so like all the zombies like.
So this movie is out. What we're talking about.
It's on Netflix right now. You can go watch it right now.
Army of the Dead.
Army of the Dead, and then they have Seas of the Dead 2, which is a
Is that afterwards or?
preamble because they have the guy that breaks into the safe and it's his story.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because he has a pretty.
They
cool
do them at the
background.
same time or released at the same, or is one of them a little old?
I think the Army of Darkness or Army of the Dead. I keep on saying Army.
Yeah, you do.
Came out.
You should
first.
really fucking step your shit up, dummy.
Nah, I'm gonna make it worse. So I think Army of the Dead.
Become
came out
hyper
first.
conscious of your
Right.
mistakes.
Oh no, I'm sweating.
That's right.
Oh, I'm just gonna do worse things.
I got the nerve farts.
Oh shit, the prickly farts, the prickly poops. But no, yeah, Army.
Why don't you do some boudoir stuff since they're doing that free photo thing? I thought that. Now that I'm sitting here, I'm looking at
I
you.
can do that.
Look a little. You got lingerie body.
Let's do that. Hey, who's ever? I don't know who it is, but
you want to walk the wall?
Huh?
BigBeaverComics.com.
Go check us out.
Instagram, Facebook, YouTube. Subscribe, like the video. Stop fucking around. $2
Yeah.
books giveaway here based on the amount of sales throughout the week. All books $2. Just claim whatever you want. You want to walk this?
Yeah, I'll walk.
I feel like I'm leering over you when you're sitting anyways.
Kind of are.
Yeah. I don't want to be domineering you and setting some sort of tone.
What tone is that?
I don't know. That's the problem, right? I don't want to be just hand it to you. You're a capable grown adult.
For the most part, I am.
We'll let you handle it. Yeah, for the most part. I'd vouch for you. I'd vouch for you in other situations. I'll do it again. My reputation's whack anyway, so if you fuck me, it's not gonna matter.
Can't get any worse.
Can't get any worse than this.
Nope, not at all.
I'm gonna open up a couple packs of pros.
Yeah, get that Ralph Macchio. Or no, that's in the previous set, wasn't it?
No, I think Macho's in this one.
Ooh, Ralph Macchio card.
No, the holograms in the previous set.
Oh, of the Stanley Cup.
Yeah, the Stanley Cup hologram.
Yeah.
Even though that's like one in hundreds of cases to get one of
I
those.
think it was like 2,500 or something.
Yeah, there was only, like the print run was so low on those, but the
Super
print run
low.
on the set was crazy high for Pro Set Series 1 hockey. Those things were everywhere back in the day and so cheap. There used to be like 4 packs for $1 at the dollar store, man.
Dude.
Like those things were everywhere. Everybody had those. Oh, this is Series 2.
Ooh, I wonder if we'll find anything good, hopefully.
Oh, yeah, all the good
I don't
stuff.
think there's anything good.
There's
in this.
nothing good in this. Absolutely nothing.
You gotta look at it.
Lakers back to winning again. Golden State looking good in basketball. Basketball is quickly rounding its season out. Doncic and Kyrie struggling. I don't think the Mavs are even in the playoffs right now.
Ouch.
It's not looking good there in Dallas, man. Mark Cuban's starting to look like that move at the deadline for Kyrie wasn't a good move.
What's going on with them? Like,
There's
this is
no-
not playing good. Huh?
No rhythm, no chemistry. They're missing, maybe, like I said last time, maybe that Dorian Finney-Smith and Spencer Dinwiddie, maybe they're just missing too many vital pieces for things that like don't come up on the points side of things, right? Guys playing better defense, better positioning. Maybe Kyrie takes some plays off. Maybe Luka's a little too wild. I don't know what it is, but maybe those other guys, because Brooklyn's still playing pretty well since they traded for those guys. So, and Brooklyn moved out of Kyrie and KD. KD's back. KD's playing well. KD looks good for Phoenix. Phoenix has been winning some games. So the West is
good for
getting,
them, right on.
yeah, and Jaw's playing good. Memphis is rolling again. So Denver, man, I know Denver's in first right now, but it doesn't necessarily look like Denver's in any type of position to just take their foot off the gas pedal. Oh, Brett Hull,
Oh, nice.
Pro Set Player of the Year.
The Blues.
Yeah, that's the only one we got of anybody that's of consequence.
Yeah, checklist,
Everything
right?
else was Todd Elk, Rick Zarmo, Gary Nyland, Dave Ellett, Michael Pavanka, Thomas Steen. We were looking at that Steen jet card earlier that was numbered.
Oh,
that's him.
Oh,
there.
damn, we're
Yeah.
there.
He's getting hit by Bookaboom from the Oilers.
Hookaboo.
Todd Ellick. Yeah. So Brett Hull, Hall of Famer Brett
Nice.
Hull. Not
Right
bad.
on.
Yeah, but it's getting tight in the West, man. Guys getting healthy again. We're gonna see. I mean, LeBron's back. Like I said, Lakers are winning.
Yeah. How long have you been back for now? A week?
3 games.
3 games?
Three
Okay.
games, and then D'Angelo Russell came back last game. So now we're fully healthy. D'Angelo Russell, right? Anthony Davis, LeBron James out there. We'll see what we can do. Austin Reeves is playing good. Put up a couple of 30-point games already, that kid.
Was it Anthony Edwards injured?
Edwards he's back.
He's back.
That's who the Lakers beat yesterday was Minnesota. So
yeah.
they've been playing all right since Karl Anthony Towns and Edwards are both in there. Again, it's tough to. There's a lot of fucking space taken up on that court with Gobert and Cat out on the court at the same time. Like they're just huge, and I have a feeling that Karl Anthony Towns, no matter what happens, unless they go on a ridiculous run and hit the conference finals, even if they make the playoffs, I think Cat's probably gone at the end of the year because they gave way too much up and too many years is still left on the contract for Gobert. So they're going to have to, and now you can see on the stat sheet, now that Gobert is the third guy out there. Gobert's down to like 6, 7 points, 8 points, whereas Gobert up a couple of weeks ago when Cat was out, you could see Gobert was up 17, 18 points. And for all those people that thought Gobert just can't play or is old now, I mean, he's clearly got the skill to ball, and Edwards was thriving before he got hurt around Gobert. Edwards was making a crazy push the second half of the year to really prove that he's not just a star, but a superstar. Karl Anthony Towns, I think, takes up the ball a little too much because while he's big,
like Hogan,
he's rightfully used for it. He's the best shooting big man probably of all time. But there's only so much for the things to go around. When you've got that much invested in Gobert, when you've got the future invested in Anthony Edwards, and Cat's starting to look like a third wheel, even though at one point this franchise was built around him, it looks like Towns might get traded because he's worth a grip shit to a team who would build around his play style, not build around the Edwards play style. So I think Minnesota is still going to be, they looked better from the couple games that they've all been there, the three of them. They looked better when it was just Gobert and Edwards. So
they built it more around Edwards, you're saying?
Edwards is the guy to build it around. I mean, there's just two ways around it. He's younger, even though Cat's only 28 or whatever. Right, Cat's still got a lot of years in front of him.
Edwards like 24 or something.
Edwards is 21.
Oh, 21.
Edwards is 21, man.
So, yeah.
Anthony Edwards is a young lad still. Yeah. And he's got all the opportunity and ceiling in the world to progress. So... And Karl Anthony Towns needs the ball lots because his productivity is predicated on him being a shooter and on him getting the ball. He's not a big defensive. He's good, but he's not Gobert. So now if you let Gobert be the secondary point guy or maybe third point guy on the team, but handle the ball a little bit to stay in the game, stay warm, then you're going to get that top end defensive production out of Gobert. He's not going to have him and Towns, both giants on the court at the same time, taking up space, and you're going to let Edwards be able to work. Other way around, you're going to have to serve the ball. That's, I think, what Dallas is going through, is that Kyrie and Luka both need that ball. It's tough. Yeah. You need a
fight over it.
You need that number one star. Because I don't think somebody like Durant is going to have near the ego issues passing.
Fuhr.
I got a Ranford in my pack. Both Oiler goalies. So yeah, I don't think Durant, if Booker was having a hot night and Durant was off a little bit, I don't think Durant would have too big of an issue ego-wise. Oh. Brett Hull again.
Yeah. Chelios?
Yeah, there was a Chelios on that one too. I don't think he would have too much problem passing the ball to Booker and succeeding that Booker's having a better night. I don't think Kyrie and Luka know how to do that either. I don't think they're secure enough in their basketball legacy that either of them know how to determine that I'm not having a night. It's a bit off. I can be the second. I can be the second star here. And that's, I think, something that KD and why KD vibes with guys almost no matter what team he goes to. Because when KD's hot, KD doesn't make other guys feel threatened that he's that hot because they all expect him to be that good. And when KD has one of those off nights that he does, KD's fine being the supplemental star out on the court and allowing the other star, if he's having a good night, to thrive. Because KD doesn't make it seem like it. He's a lot like LeBron in the sense that he wants to take it on his own shoulders, but he knows his limitations and it doesn't hurt his ego, so that you see him wear it in his body language when he plays. Some other guys, if they're not in the mix and they have to be kind of a utility guy that night, they get a little pouty.
Oh, they do.
Because they don't know how to, they want to be the star.
Well, today.
So a guy like Steph's another prime example of a guy who they brought KD into that situation when they were already winning championships. They had Steph, Draymond, Clay, Iguodala. They had tons of guys. They brought in KD, still won 2 more championships. KD left. They started bringing in other young boys that you got to feel might be taking your spot. Right? Kuminga, Moses Moody, Poole, all these guys won another championship. Why? Because Steph doesn't feel like he has to prove to his own teammates that he's the man. Steph's willing to let you thrive if you're having a game, and if he's having a game, you like him so much because he's such a respectable teammate and someone who's not really moving off ego.
Well, that's what you're supposed to be on a teammate, right?
But that's hard. It's hard, dude. You got to think all the money on the line, and you got to think how. Imagine taking all your own shortcomings and then putting them on national television under a spotlight at all times.
I think of it like
where every BJ at the club afterwards is predicated on if you're more popular than the next guy.
Well, if you're having an off night, you either look like shit that night, or you either just have being more of a team player. It doesn't look better being a team player than just like you just playing like shit.
Some guys round peg, square hole, don't care.
I guess
they're willing to. Yeah, they got to prove something. They can't be forward thinking enough to realize that you're right. It's bigger than rap. If you just back off and do what's best in the situation, then you're gonna, like me and McGee yesterday. I was playing basketball with my son yesterday, and I guess kind of an example similar. So we were playing one-on-one because it's off season for the actual like basketball leagues for him, but it's getting to be summer here. Oh, Gretzky.
Yeah.
Gretzky in the All-Star jersey.
Hell yeah.
That's what you like to see. So we were outside playing basketball, and kid's a good shooter. But I guess dad was playing defense too good. So I was shutting him down. He was pumping, and he was going a little too fast or wasn't lining it up, and he was just hitting rims and backboards and all sorts of stuff, and just it wasn't there. So instead of just keep owning his ass, because I'm not going to take it easy on him, I'm going to try to stop him, because like, I mean, he wants to play competitive basketball. Like, if you can't beat dad, you ain't going to be able to beat actual basketball players. So instead of taking it, pushing it more, taking it easy on him, I could just tell, like, the shooting's not working. It's going to drain his confidence, and it's going to drain the enthusiasm to be out here and to work. So we just switched it right up to passing. I was like, hey, what we'll do is we'll do quick passes. So I'm up quick to you, and you got to let it off. So now it's not where I'm defending you. Now it's I'm working with you, and we're trying to work on something where it's a quick release. So you're receiving a pass, quick release. So you're, instead of getting where you get, so you're not getting near as frustrated because you're not even having to go fetch the ball. I'm gonna go fetch the ball for you, even whether you hit or miss. And now you're getting the ball, boom, right back to you, quick, boom. So you get to shoot every like 5 seconds. So you're kind of so now you're getting a chance to maybe work that kink out in a different way rather than continue to get beaten down and downtrodden.
Like shooting really fast, like not trying.
He was the second half once he stopped because the one-on-one wasn't working. Normally he'll smoke me because he's that good. But then yesterday I was a little step quicker than him. So I was like, I'm not going to ease up. You just having a shitty shooting day. So let's work where I'm not working against you. Let's work together like I'm your teammate.
Right, let's help you out.
And I'll pass to you, right? So you can, because how do you replicate taking a fast pass? Well, you can't bounce it off the garage fast enough so you need another guy.
Yes.
So if you don't have teammates here. So I was like, let's just switch it up and we'll try to,
and did better then.
It was a switch to keep the enthusiasm and the growth moving.
Yes.
But it's that willing to change up and realize that today's not the day for this. Maybe if we move to that, maybe you'll excel a little bit. But some of these guys with their egos, and again, we're not on national television on the driveway, but some of the guys with the egos, they don't want to switch gears into utility role, into helper guy. They want to. Now you've gone 2 for 10 and you look silly, and it's the third quarter. Fuck. Well, now you're really trying to nail them because now you already feel behind and you feel it.
Pressure.
And now it's even more. Now the opportunity for you to continue to bury yourself further. But that's the difference between a good team player and someone who's secure in their game and their legacy. And Rome wasn't built in a day. And that's what guys with real legacies are able to hammer out, is that my legacy is not built on what I do in 1 minute or 1 quarter or 1 shot. My legacy is built on the way I play over time.
Right, my legacy, not just that night.
But that's where ego gets you over your skis and you start working off of emotions rather than working off of what's best for the group, what's best for the unit.
Yeah.
So we'll see, but that's not working in Dallas right now. But it's where it's working in Phoenix. Durant looks impeccable. Durant slid right in there, and doesn't look like there's him and Booker just shooting the lights out. If they're healthy, it looks like I would say Memphis Phoenix would be your finals probably.
Ooh, Memphis Phoenix.
Memphis and Phoenix probably going to be your Western Conference Finals. Ooh, and then I don't know in the like Boston beat Milwaukee the other night by like 50 points. So like I know that like Milwaukee's got a pedigree. I guess so does Boston. They made it to the championship last year, but Man, that Eastern Conference Final Four is going to be really good because it's going to really come down to the top three, I would imagine. There's nobody going to beat them. So the Bucks will move on. Celtics will move on. 76ers will move on. That Knicks and Cavaliers series in round one is going to be insane. That's going to be the best first round series. Unless some like 7 or 8 seed like completely disrupts the apple cart and upsets some team that's like a way favorite. Like if you want just like an in the trench battle that might go the distance between two like teams that are on the rise, Knicks Cavs is going to be just a fucking firefight. So that's going to be a battle. But then whoever makes it out of that series, they'll be in the 4 teams that are left in the East. So it'll be Milwaukee, Boston, Philadelphia, and whichever of those two. And then it's going to be that team out and fuck. I mean, I still personally am going for Philadelphia out of that. I think Philadelphia's going to win the championship, but it's up in the air. It's up in the air as far as if I'm being rational and not emotional, it's up in the air.
Right, not being biased at all.
There's a good 7 teams I see as viable, and anybody who thinks Golden State's not viable lost their mind because Golden State's just getting better and better now. So Golden,
are they?
Oh man, the pedigree, 4 championships, dude. You got Steph Curry. There's no.
God.
I don't care how bad your regular season looked. I don't care. Clay's good. Draymond's good. Steph's good. They're all healthy. Everybody's still just as good as they were, and they got the pedigree. Been there. 4 championships with basically 3 different iterations of that team, save for Draymond and the Splash Brothers, right? The only things that haven't changed are Steve Kerr at coach, Steph, Draymond, and fucking Clay. But they're still just as good. Forget that they're in their 30s. None of that matters. They won the championship last year.
It's just a number.
The fact that we have to have this conversation and they are the reigning champions makes me sick, regardless of the fact that they've got a terrible road record. And I hate Golden State. I am not. Road record? Oh my God. They have the worst road record like it is. They have the road record of like, I think they got the 3rd or 4th worst road record in the league.
Ouch.
Dude, it's bad, but they win like everything at home though.
This is a cursed for the road.
These guys are a little older. And they know they just got to get to the dance. They've been there. They've won these tight series. It's a lot like LeBron. Like, are you going to bet against the healthy LeBron? Even if the Lakers sneak in at 8. Let's say the Lakers make the play-in, sneak in at 8, have to play Denver first round. Anybody out there going to put their house on the line? Do you want to, before game 1 starts, AD's healthy, LeBron's healthy, D'Angelo Russell's healthy, LeBron's healthy. I don't care if Denver has everybody. Jokic, 2 MVPs, Jamal Murray. You bring them all. They all show up good. Are you going to bet your house that the Lakers won't win with healthy LeBron? Nobody will take that bet. Nobody. Because it's still LeBron. It's still Steph Curry. Right. It's still Larry Bird. It's still Michael Jordan. It's still Shaq. It's still those guys.
I see what you mean there, right?
So it's Steph Curry in Golden State and LeBron in LA and those pedigrees, dude. LeBron's been to 10 championship games.
Damn,
like really? Final series.
10.
He's only been in the league like 20 years. Shit. Dude, he's been to a championship every basically second year on average. He's been in the professionals. And the man's almost 40.
Yeah, he's getting up there, huh?
He's exceptional. And his pedigree speaks for itself. And it leads long before anybody's MVPs or their... So Ja's great. Denver's great. They're healthy. That could be an excellent series if they make the Western Final. And they could, but Sacramento... Like Denver, Sacramento, Memphis, they don't have the pedigrees.
No. Huh?
That's the Phoenix team does because KD has it. Paul's been around forever. And
Paul who?
Chris Paul.
Okay.
And Durant and Booker have been to almost to the finals the one year. Like they were there. Did they make? No, they made the finals, right? They lost to the Bucks. So they've been there. They do have the experience.
Tasted a little bit.
Got the experience. So it's right there for the taking. I think if I was leaning towards favorites, if I was thinking Denver, Sacramento, or Memphis, the teams with the better records, but with a little less playoff pedigree, or I was thinking the Suns, the Lakers, or the Golden State Warriors, a little further down the rankings going in, but a lot more in their dossier. I think the guys with the backgrounds. One thing I know,
experience, huh? You think they're gonna,
and they're good team players. These aren't guys who won somewhere and like they were the superstar who carried everyone. It's like LeBron's proven he acclimates to teams well. KD has proven he does. And obviously, Steph Curry they've probably fostered the best team in professional sports in the last 10 years in Golden State. So the atmospheres, despite Draymond punching Poole earlier this year, which, I mean,
ouch.
Like, fucking whatever, don't run your mouth.
That's right.
Don't run your fucking mouth.
Right there, yeah.
I don't have any empathy for that.
No.
Because I don't know what Poole was saying, and for Draymond to punch you, dude, you probably had it coming.
No, I do remember that. I saw the highlight.
I know everybody else gets all in their feelings about it, but I come from a place where if you come out of pocket, somebody might punch you in the mouth.
Of course.
So you came out of pocket on a grown-ass man who wasn't playing your disrespect. You got clocked in front of all your peers and put in your place.
Live.
And, I mean, I'm sure he owed you an apology in public, but in private, for the reason that you got punched, you probably owed him an apology in private and said, like, dude, I shouldn't have
talked some shit.
I should have respected the fact that you're Draymond Green, a future Hall of Famer, and I'm just a young kid who just got paid, who's kind of feeling myself. And I shouldn't be trying. Right? He probably was trying to, big time him around Draymond's boy, and Draymond just, all right, boom, what's up? And he fired off on him, dude. Whew. I'd probably do the same. I can't.
Did he even get fined or anything?
I don't remember what the team did. 5-game suspension, $100,000 fine. $100,000. It was something. It was decent, but like Draymond took it on the chin. The team seemed. It didn't look like it affected Draymond's relationship with Kerr. It didn't look like it affected his relationship with Steph, Clay. Him and Poole still kind of tit for tat a little bit with each other sometimes. They still don't seem to really jive as teammates.
Is there any time where a team gets fined and not like a player?
Oh yeah, if teams break rules, like if teams get caught like spying on other teams or filming other teams' practices, or you absolutely, or talking to players, like when a player's not a free agent yet, if a player's not in a negotiating stage, you can absolutely get in a lot of trouble. These draft picks get fined heavily.
So is there anything
you could talk if you talk to a coach or someone that's not available to be spoke to yet because they're still under contract, even if everybody knows they're leaving.
Right, no, but you're still under contract.
Everybody's working on a collective bargaining agreements, right? So there's very much like a window you can talk to people and a window you can't unless they're in your franchise. You can't just go and you can't go and deal with, I'm sure, amateurs. I'm sure a lot of guys in college until they do pro days or until they go to the combine. You can't just have guys like chilling at Notre Dame just interviewing linebackers in the middle of the season for a team in the professionals. Like, I'm sure that probably there's a checks and balance, right? That allows that person to stay an amateur and what retains, so that team would probably get in a ton of trouble for that kind of stuff.
Like teams and the players are separate. So there's not something like a player could do that would fine the team and not the player get fined.
I don't know. I would imagine.
I don't think at all.
I would imagine if you start crossing into things where the whole team can be implicated into stuff, then the team is what is responsible. So like if another player that was acting as a representative, whether of the, like, because he's under contract, right? But even if he wasn't, even if he was only doing it for his own leverage, and let's say he's like spying on Tom Brady in practice and gets caught with a pair of binoculars up in an empty stadium, he would get penalized personally, and then the team would probably, because he's still a representative of the team.
Why are they spying? More than likely,
how do we know he's not disseminating that information to other people on the team? And so I would imagine there would be sports is pretty heavily regulated inside the sports because it's gambled on.
I was going to say gambling, right?
There's so much money involved in gambling that they need to have everything be above board so that everyone, other than like when a guy's a free agent, the negotiating is really the only thing that's not made public until like a contract is finalized. They're negotiating behind the scenes a lot of times, the stuff but that's only when a guy is able to be negotiated with, right? And it still has to, like, contracts still have to fall within the semblance of reality or the architecture of that collective bargaining agreement. Like, you can't just have wacky ass contracts that, but there's a check and balance with all that. So there's lots of reasons that teams can get in shit for stuff.
Okay, so you can't just have like crazy dumbass contracts,
no, because there's caps on certain things, and like, I don't know, you might be able to in some leagues, like I'm sure there's no real top end, but your salary cap's still going to be affected if you just pay one guy. Like if again, everybody's a little different. Like baseball has a luxury tax just like basketball does. So if you go over and above the salary cap, then you pay a tax to teams because it's a luxury for your team because of the market you're in or whatever else it is. So like with the Mets or the Yankees, they're going to go over and above the soft cap. So they're going to go over and above it by maybe $100 million. But because you're in the New York market, the Baltimore Orioles don't get afforded those same abilities to have all these multimillionaires, and because they're in Baltimore. So it's a luxury for you to be able to pay $100 million over and above the salary cap to get all these better players because you're in a better market, but we're a collective. So you then have to give a little vig to Baltimore, give a little vig to Milwaukee, give a little vig to Cincinnati, give a little vig to the places who can't even afford to spend to the soft
So you have to give it
cap.
to like all the teams.
It goes into the league, and then the league disperses it based on your revenues and your spending. Right.
Okay.
So they go in and they look at the books of everybody.
So it's all the people that you can say New York spend over
Right.
$100 million. So it's all
The
people
Mets,
that
the
put in a
Yankees, the
pot.
Dodgers, the Giants. Right. There's teams that spend a grip shit of money all the time because they have like the Padres, like the Mets just, they got Verlander and Scherzer as their number 1 and 2 pitchers. Like those guys both make $43 million a year. So just Verlander and Scherzer, 2 starting pitchers, are making $86 million a year for just 2 guys. Right. So, I mean, your soft cap is only probably, I don't know what it is off the top of my head, but it's probably mid hundreds to high hundreds. So, I mean, when you end up as a team like Texas or someone that's got a, salary cap of 250, but the teams around you, Houston, I'm sure Houston has a ridiculous salary cap with the players they have. You're going to have to then break off these other teams a little bit of a, same thing with NBA, luxury tax, soft cap, you can go over it. The Golden State's always over by like 100 million, or they have been since they've been a championship team, right? But in the NHL or in NFL, those are hard caps to $1.
Oh, are they?
There's no wiggle room. You fit it into this within.
That's your budget.
That's the budget for every team. Like
there's no wiggle room.
You don't have to spend to the cap. You should to be relatively competitive. Obviously, you have to plan out long-term contracts over successive years. So you got to think about who you have to re-sign and holes you have to fill and guys that might retire. And there's a lot of planning into the future with caps that are hard because, like with the NHL, a lot of those contracts you can't just expunge from the records. You can't just take a contract and just wipe it off the books. You've got to buy that out, and that goes as the dead money on your salary cap spread over years. And so it's a very difficult process. So if I'm going to sign you to 5 years, it's all guaranteed. So I'm going to pay you this salary for the next 5 years. But if I got to re-sign Connor McDavid in 3, I've got to think about how I can have the money allocated open 3 years from now to sign him and still be mobile enough to put things around him.
A little bit of a pain in the ass with the hard cap.
It's a little different, but it keeps everyone on an even playing field. And then it doesn't matter what market you're in.
It's not lopsided at all, right?
Because it's predicated on the average market. It's not predicated on what the Rangers or the Bruins or the Toronto Maple Leafs could bring in. Because those teams are exceptions to the Nashville Predator rule.
So I guess
the Columbus Blue Jacket
you
rule.
You have like a salary cap then.
Hard cap. In the NHL. Oilers right to the cap right now. That's hard cap. And that moves depending on revenue, depending on TV contracts, depending on inflation and the economy. And it depends on a lot of stuff. Rarely does it recede itself, but a lot of times you get years of rips where it increases successively year over year over year. And then you get these like times like right now where I don't know how the NHL is doing in contrast to the economy, but if it's mirroring the economy a little bit and things are down, the NHL's built in fail safe so that they're never really down. Their coffers are super full, but they won't then increase the salary cap until their books start to reflect a market trajectory that's upwards again, whether it's just internal in the NHL or macro, where it's the NHL and the society as a whole going upwards. Then the NHL will set the trend where every year you'll get a $1.2 million increase, $1.8 million increase. So it allows, but that's across all teams.
Across all
because it's a hard cap, right?
Right. So it's not like the NBA or like the NFL where you got these crazy
soft cap, luxury tax, big difference.
Yeah.
If you're going to overpay, you've got to give back into the league. If you're going to be the team getting an advantage by being able to spend more money, so that whether it's because your market makes a shit ton of money or because your owner is just so filthy rich and he's willing to pay to win, which is fine. All you have to do is then give a certain percentage or an equal amount back into the league for us to disperse around to the owners and the markets that don't have the ability to do
A lot
that.
of money that goes around. We'll say, well,
Multi-billions of dollars.
Right, that's crazy.
So that was a long NBA conversation. We got right into the brass tacks of salary caps, and holy Christ,
that was crazy. Yeah, I didn't know
Smoke
about
a bowl.
that. Yeah, let's do it.
yeah,
let's
smoke
do
a
that.
bowl. We'll be back.